Hello, thanks for joining me. It is another beautiful early spring day. A bit breezy, but temperatures in the mid 40s going into the upper 40s today. And I am sitting at the base of another mound. This is also in the bed of Glacial Lake Wisconsin. And this particular mound is called Quincy Mound, or Quincy Mesa, or Quincy Bluff, depending who you talk to or what map you look at. The mound itself is about 2 miles long, and it's made out of still the sandstone, the slightly harder sandstone of the, I suppose, mid to late Cambrian era. Anyway, there'll be some video of the hike right here. Perhaps you can see the turkey vulture there. welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. The glacial lake bed is quite obvious, as you saw from some of the views up on top of the crest or the top of the mound. And several other mounds are visible from this mound, the Quincy Mound. The Quincy Mound stands about 200 feet off of the glacial plain, or the lake bed plain that surrounds it. And predominantly jack pine, white pine, some red pine, oaks. There's white and black. There's also pin oak or hills oak. There's a scattering of birch and poplar, and in the lower areas some alder and some cherry. But the area itself is being maintained for its pine and oak barrens. And on this beautiful hike, I am smoking some Iwan Ries. This is their 3-Star Blue aromatic tobacco. And it is our original world-famous blend, exclamation mark. This blend, I believe, was introduced in the 1950s. But anyway, the tin says, it consists of toasted Burley and bright Virginia flake, with just a touch of black Cavendish, Perique, and Latakia, topped with Ries's one-of-a-kind aroma. 3-Star Blue burns clean with no heel or residue. Our best seller since inception. It is a pure pleasure to smoke, and ultra-pleasing to those around you. Iwan Ries and Company, Chicago, Illinois. Tobaccoist since 1857. Perhaps you can see that. Distributed by McBaron USA, Richmond, Virginia. As I understand it, Iwan Ries hasn't blended tobaccos in-house for quite some time. And the current tobaccos, at least the 3-Star Blue, are being blended by Sutliff, now part of McBaron. And I am smoking this tobacco in, I think you've seen this meerschaum. This is a antique store find I found, put on a new stem. You can look back a few videos if you want to find out about that. But a nice meerschaum. As far as the tobacco, I'll give you a better view of it because I've put the majority of it into a mason jar. And 3-Star Blue has a little story that goes along with it. Back in late September, early October of 2016, I believe, I had a conference in downtown Chicago. So I stopped at Iwan Ries and picked up some tins of tobacco. And on one of the side shelves next to their bulk blends, they had this stuff. And they had a sign, and price reduced, now reduced. I think it was $16.95 for 7-ounce tin. So I knew nothing about their blue. I had never had it before. And now that Sutliff was distributing it, or McBaron's was distributing it, they were selling it at what appeared to be a reduced price. So they had an open canister with some of the blend in it, so I took a look at it, and by golly, it reminded me of Revelation, which I like. It had Burleys and Virginias and Latakia and Perique and a little bit of black Cavendish, which Revelation doesn't have. And I took a smell of it, and I got this plummy sensation. Wow, that smells like Revelation. So I bought a tin. And then I got it home, and however many weeks later, I popped the tin and took a whiff and was greeted by this confectionery, fruity yuck, basically is what it was to me. I was expecting a kind of that deep plum, Perique fruit smell of Revelation. And I don't know how many of you have experienced that as well. You go into a tobacco shop that has a smoking lounge, and the smell of smoke is kind of hanging in the air, so anything you smell in bulk blends is going to be skewed to what it really smells like. And that happened with this. So I got this home, smoked a few bowls of it, and said, ugh, ugh, that's awful. What the hell am I going to do with that? So of a 7-ounce tin, I stuffed, probably 5.5, maybe 6 ounces of it into a 16-ounce mason jar and sealed that sucker up and put it in the back of my cabinet and promptly forgot about it. I did smoke the, whatever it was, ounce and a half of loose tobacco that didn't fit. I smoked that periodically until it was gone, but then forgot about it. And I was moving some stuff, and I came across this mason jar. And I said, I really should give that another try. Now that I'm not completely disappointed that it's not a Revelation tasting tobacco. So here I am. I've got a few bowls of this smoked since I jarred it and forgot about it. And it's not nearly as bad as I remember it to be. And no, aging it didn't really make much difference, I don't think. Yeah, there are some Virginias that could have improved. The Latakias and the Perique may have mellowed and transferred to some of the other tobaccos and blended a little bit better, but the Burleys and the Cavendish aren't really going to improve with age. And to be honest, I do get a little bit of Revelation sensation out of it. Kind of that dark, plummy sensation, but oh Lord, what I do get out of it is grape bubblegum. I think that's the closest I can come to describing what the secret one-of-a-kind topping is. I think it's grape bubblegum. They're grape flavoring. It's very sweet grape flavoring. Thankfully, that doesn't really transfer into the smoke entirely. It's still a Swedish, there you go, a sweet smoke. But you do get some of the Perique, you do get some of the plum notes, the darker stewed fruit taste, which I like. So it's perhaps a lighter, brighter, sweeter version of Revelation, if you have to relate it to something, which apparently I do. The room note is very sweet. It's very pleasant. No problems there. No tongue bite. It's a Burley base. Nothing dramatic there, just a solid Burley base. sweetness coming from three things. I think the Virginias are imparting a bit of sweetness, the black Cavendish, as well as the confectionery topping of some sort. The Latakia, I don't smell it in the tin. There is Latakia in there, because when I really taste it is after I've smoked it. About a half an hour later, I have that Latakia taste and sensation left over. Everything else is gone, but the Latakia lingers. So I know there's Latakia or Latakia in it. Not a lot. I don't really get much smokiness from it. And the Perique, I think initially you don't get much of the Perique even on the retrohale. There's almost no tingling sensation. But as you get through the bowl, the spiciness does build in this. And when you're about halfway through the bowl on a retrohale, you get a little bit of spiciness coming out. You do get some plummy notes, some plum notes from the Perique, I think. As you're smoking down, you have that kind of sweet, bright flavor that's going on, and then you'll get occasional hits or hints of that dark plum fruit, the deeper taste, if that makes sense. So there you go, Iwan Ries, 3-star blue. On a 3-star scale, it's probably a 1.5. Maybe a 2 on a 4-star scale. Your mileage will, of course, vary. Yeah, I won't be dumping the tin. I'll smoke it. It won't be a regular smoke. It'll probably last me 3, 4, 6 years. There was a little bit of Perique. Yeah, that was pleasant. So, I hope you're getting out. I hope spring is finding you wherever you happen to be. Hope you're doing well. Take care, and perhaps I shall see you again.